This video is brought to you by Fallen Dominion Studios. Check out their website at fallendominionstudios.com.
Lost space button.
What? Are you freaking? Tell him he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong. Insane. I can't even believe you would begin to try to compare the two.
I think it's just going to even grow me more.
You know, I backed out of that, right?
I'm going to slap you. Or if you're sitting right here playing with your best bud. It's a game to play. So, or co-host.
Heart. Hey there, welcome back to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kas.
And apparently I'm Bryan.
Apparently?
Yeah.
Did you change your name in the last week? Change your identity?
No, I was going to change it a few minutes ago, but changed it.
You couldn't think of anything.
No.
Yeah. You're here for our top 10 games of all time. And I don't mean video games. If you clicked on this list, we fooled you. But yeah, we've been doing a top 30 series. We've been doing 10, I think every week, basically. 10 every video that we've done these. We did top...
Part 3.
Yeah, we did top 30 to 21, then 20 to 11, and now we're going to coveted top 10. So if you haven't seen any of our others yet, and you don't want to be spoiled by what may or may not be on this list, go back and check out those videos. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do what we call a roll-off, and we're going to figure out who goes first. So you brought your own dice.
Yes,
okay.
I did.
So this D20 is not good enough for you anymore?
No, because this goes up to 60. No, I'm sorry, 80. 90.
Oh, we're going to, you know what?
I win.
And I think we're going to use this, all right? I'm about to toss it at your head. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and win. Just get it over with. It's 4. Yeah, that was fun.
I cannot believe
You can't see that. That's a 3 trace. I'm awesome. I'm kidding. It's odds. Odds are awesome sometimes when they work in your favor. May they ever be in your favor. So anyway, let's start. So say we all. That's right. So let's go ahead and start with number 10.
It's me, Mario.
And it's a game about trying to, you're a bunch of investigators trying to figure out who the murderer is in a group.
Okay.
It's a hidden role deduction game. Deception. Murder in Hong Kong. It's just the fact that I am sitting there in a group of people. Everybody's got clues in front of them, and there's one person that's the murderer, and there's also possible, if you have 6 players or more, an accomplice and a witness. And you know, you're just trying to figure out who the murderer is. The accomplice is trying to throw everybody else off, right? And the witness is trying to let everybody know who the accomplice and the murderer are without being too obvious about it. Because if they get caught, they get, you know, basically sent down the river, Hudson River, just like in Godfather. They get killed and they don't go to trial, and the bad people get away. There's one person who's a CSI person who's actually bringing out clues from the crime scene. I will not ever make fun of anybody doing this ever again unless they're just terrible anyway, because it is one of the hardest jobs in that game, that forensic expert. So anyway, it is an amazingly fun game. Goes up to 12 players, and I really feel like I mean, as close as I can get to suspending reality. I feel like I'm an investigator trying to figure out clues according to what the crime scene's saying to the forensic expert. And so this is one of the best games. This has actually replaced Resistance for me, even more so than another game that we mentioned on the last list. Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. I know some people like Mysterium and they compare it to this. I have not played Mysterium yet, but I've heard like some people who, you know, like I said, there's people have their preferences. For me, I prefer to be an investigator rather than sitting around, you know, performing a ritual and trying to figure out from ghosts, you know, whatever.
So, my number 10, you contact the dead with it. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, you better not be saying that after that little spiel I gave.
No, this is Queen Domino.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be on your list somewhere.
It is torn between king and queen. Queen Domino offers a little more buyer's market options. It's a great tile placement game. If you're familiar on how to play dominoes, it plays real similar. You're just matching up colors, matching up fields, matching up water, and such. But Queen Domino gives you a larger strategy that you can do other than King Domino, whereas you're just laying tiles down. So
I hadn't played that one yet, but I've heard enough to know
it was great.
Kinda.
I loved it, and then when you introduced me to Queen Domino, just took it a notch higher.
Yeah, it went up on his top 5 of 2017 list. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be there. I like the game. It's not. I guess I don't know what it was. For me, it's not like something that's hitting my list. Let's put it that way. It didn't even hit my short list, man. Yeah. But like I said, I mean, it's not a bad game at all. It's actually very good. A lot of good strategy in it. So that's a good choice. Yeah, I like that. My number 9 is a game that has, in some people's mind, been called a Citadel's killer. It has definitely been a game that's been something I run to instead of Citadels. And it is a game where you're basically a bunch of pirates on a ship, and you're trying to go out on, different cruises, basically, to pillage different places, take, booty. You get to say that word a lot in this game. Take booty back to the port, I guess Tortuga, and you get to enjoy it.
Savvy.
Libertalia.
Yeah. This is the day that you will always remember as the day that you...
Savvy.
But yeah, at Libertalia, you've got a hand of cards. Everybody's got the same type of cards in the game in the first round, and it's almost like you're playing a very, very advanced game of poker. You're bluffing each other out a little bit, and you're trying to see who actually wins the bluff on the ship, because the highest number wins the first part of the round, but then it goes in ascending order, and then certain aspects of the game go in descending order. So it's really cool. And then later on, as you go through different rounds, everybody's hands start being different, because you might have saved some cards from a previous round that other people might not have played. So no longer are you matching up. And so I love this game. We've had some of the funniest things I've ever seen in a game happen in this game, especially to a friend of mine who we keep on playing that brute card, and it's like the brute, he'll punch out the person on the ship who has the highest rank and things like that, and then that person loses. It's an amazing game. It gives me kind of a piratey feel. I don't understand why every crew where there's clones of everybody. That part doesn't make sense thematically, but other than that, it's an amazing game. Check it out, Libertalia. I've never seen this game fall flat. It's one of my most played games in the past couple of years, actually.
My number 9 comes from no, it's not really the Ming Dynasty. Rising Sun.
Yeah. How did I know?
You knew that was going to be on there.
Hey, to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be number 1.
No, not really number 1. I just need more plays on it.
Yeah.
I do love the game. I love the theme.
Yeah.
I do love the area control on this. I do love, there's multiple ways to win on this. You don't have to necessarily fight to be the winner. You can do...
You want me to pull this one down for you and let you just...
You just stick it in my bag. But there are multiple ways to win. You don't necessarily have to win territories to win the game.
Yeah.
You have multiple different avenues that you can take to get your victory points, which I really love that aspect. I love the tiles that you use for the...
You just love the Kickstarter exclusives, man. Let's just be honest.
I can't play the regular version. Just, I mean, those little mahjong-looking tiles for your diplomacy...
your political mandates.
Yeah, I always want to call them diplomacy.
Well, they said it was a spiritual successor. Oh, not a spiritual successor, but they said it was based off that diplomacy, but it's very loosely.
Yeah. So I mean, I just love the overall theme of this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was you can go back and watch our review. I was very much on the fence, But as you can see, I now own my own copy of it.
It's an electric fence.
Yeah. Well, it was a magnet fence. It magnetized me to it. It drew me to it. So that game, I agree with you. It definitely deserves to be on a top 10 list. If I play it some more,
it'll make your top 10.
Well, maybe next year we'll see.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see where it lands. So, but anyway, yeah, great game. Good choice. My number 8 game of all time, as of right now, it's a game about running your own business, working through different seasons. You're working in Italy, as a matter of fact. It's about making wine, crushing grapes and making wine. Viticulture. The Essential Edition specifically is the one I've got, and if I were you, I would also get the Tuscany expansion because it changes up the seasons, gives you a little bit more to do. This game, it's a Euro game, and
the only reason he likes it is because it has metal coins.
Yeah, that's true. No, I love this game. I actually went and got the metal coins for it because, what can I say, man? Stonemaier Games, same people who made games like Scythe and otherwise, they have amazing production quality. Jamie Stegmaier has an amazing sense of design in terms of production quality, mechanics, everything working together so perfectly, especially when it comes to theme. He knows how to bring theme out of almost every single mechanic in that game. What do I do first? I go and plant grapes. Well, first thing I got to do is I have to get the cards to do that. The different kind of vine cards, so you can get Merlot, you can get all sorts of different kind of grape cards, and then you got to plant them. And then you also have to buy a trellis, and you have to buy all these things that actually tills the ground and irrigates and all these other things to make sure your vines are growing well. When you get them, you get your grapes out. Oh, the grapes age every year like they would naturally in real life. If you make wine, your wine ages, it becomes more valuable like it would in real life. Amazing game. The theme was not something that was actually drawing me in at first. Right? It was not that so much. It was what you were doing in the game, running your own business, having repeat customers in a sense come back because you're getting residual income year after year after year. One of the most amazing games I've ever played, and it just makes me feel like I'm a business person and everything in that game makes sense. Every single thing.
My number 8, Post-Apocalyptic Wasteland.
Is it?
Which one do you think it is?
Wasteland Express.
No.
Really?
Fallen Land.
A post-apocalyptic board game.
Love post-apocalyptic. This is like Mad Max in a box. The vast area that you get to play in, it's truly an RPG game for board gamers.
That's a good way to put it. I would agree with that.
The story is so immersive. It's not as long as like a normal RPG game would be. It does have some boundaries within it, but it's got fewer boundaries than normal board games would.
It's a sandbox. You can do almost anything.
You can do almost anything.
Yeah.
Go to casino, try your luck, see how much more money you can get, or scrap metal in the game. The biggest thing that really does it for me is the story that's involved in it. Every faction has their own backstory. It just gets you deeper and deeper, and then every time you draw a card to get in the mountains or the plains, the radiation area, it just draws you that much deeper into the game, and that's what I love, how you can get immersed in this.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're doing these things in real life.
Building that party up.
Oh,
is
yes.
one of the best parts.
It's awesome. All the characters, there's some characters in there that you might look at and like, that guy kind of looks familiar from something.
yeah, there's a lot of people
I really like that aspect of it. So the overall game is just so amazing.
Yeah.
I love this game. When I first came across it, the board really didn't appeal to me when I first saw it on Kickstarter, but when I actually started reading what it was about, it just hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
That's all it took.
And I was the same way on that game. The funny thing was the board, and I may have said this in the review, the board didn't really draw me in, but when you actually understand why the board looks that way, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it makes complete sense why they went that way.
It draws you in even further once you realize how everything's worked out. The mechanics of it are just, they work so well together.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is an amazing game, and I completely agree. Also, I have to say this because this needs to be said, if we put this game on some of the top 10 lists especially, that this game is made by our sponsor, Fallen Dominion Studios, and
that's not why it's on my list.
Right, that's not why.
It's an awesome game.
Before we were ever sponsored, and before we were ever sponsored, we loved this game. We gave it an extraordinarily high rating.
I tried to steal his copy several
times. He really did. We loved this game before there even was any talk of sponsorship.
Yes.
And it wasn't until, I think, several months later that they actually came to us and said, hey, let's talk about, I don't know how long it was. It was
probably a good
It was probably about 5-6 months. I don't remember exactly. It was last September, I think, when we reviewed it. But just so you know, it's an amazing game. We wouldn't put it on the list if it wasn't worthy of those spots.
Yes.
So, yeah, I have to put that disclaimer because I want you to understand that that's why we have it there, because the game is amazing. Game is amazing, and I love it.
Whether you're a board gamer or whether you're an RPG, Dungeons & Dragons, Battletech, or whatever, you will love this game.
Yeah, and we've actually got a friend of ours who runs a group of RPGers, and they are playing this game. Keep in mind, they don't play a ton of board games necessarily. They're more RPG groups. They run these 16, 20-week campaigns and things like that, or longer. And he loved this game, and now he's playing it with his friends. That's how much they really like this game. It was just that quick to get into. So, all right, cool, man.
Number 8.
That was number 8. My number 7. I want to know if you want to take a wild guess what this might be. It's a Star Wars game.
Imperial Assault?
No.
Armada?
Yes, sir. Star Wars Armada. And we're going to get some pew-pew action here. This is why I love this game. This is one of the reasons, okay? Massive battleships
Is that how you
in
get
space.
the engine started?
Yeah, that's right.
Like a Nintendo game?
Yeah, exactly. Get the Q-tip in there, you know. But this massive battleship, this Star Destroyer, is one of my favorite reasons. I mean, any of these ships I've got up here on my shelf, this game is all about taking these massive battleships and out there taking your armada, right, and beating the snot out of the other guy's armada. That's what it's all about. It's about destroying each other. I love games that make me have to micromanage different kinds of ship systems. You have to, like, each quadrant on the ship or have their own set of shields. If one side gets their shields brought down, you might be able to, like, you know, increase power to shit. Think of, like, things you've heard in Star Wars or Star Trek. Increase power to shields, or take away from life support to do this. It's just like that. And then the fact that you can send out fighters out there, and you have to mix up the fighters together to fight it out, because if you allow X-Wings to come after this ship, they can bring it down fast. I mean, you know, within reason, they at least pepper the shields left and right, and then the other big ships come in and start firing on it without shields. Or ram it, yeah. Greg would appreciate that.
Yes.
And it was funny because after Rogue One, he's like, "See, Kas, see, you can ram those ships, and then they destroy. See, that's why I don't like that." You know. So anyway, Greg had an issue with the ramming system, but I still love this game. It's a great 2-player game. You've played it. I know you've liked it. We need to get to the table more often. This is one of my favorites, man. It's a good game.
Like, I'll just tell you now, it's not one of my favorites, but I like playing it.
Heresy. Get off the show.
I think I might be able to get into it a little bit more if it was Star Trek. And if there was a Borg ship there.
I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I can't even believe you just said that. I like Star Trek, but man,
well, when I think of Star Wars, I don't I don't think space battles that much. You know, there's a lot of space battles.
What?
Space battles.
What?
Space battles.
What? That's what he said. You what?
Are you freaking? Tell him he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong. How many battles in space? It's Star Wars.
But
battles in space.
All right.
Massive battleships.
When I think of Star Wars,
come on, man.
I think lightsabers, sword battle, the Force.
And this.
But when I think of Star Trek,
X-Wings versus TIE fighters, man. Come on, dude. What are you talking about?
I'm thinking the Enterprise against Klingon ships, against Ferengi, against the Borg.
Absolutely insane. I can't even believe you would begin to try to compare the two. I don't even know what else to say about it. I mean, hearing him talk about anyway, game's amazing. Don't listen to him.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, but you start comparing it and saying that when I think of Star Wars, I don't think of space battles. What? I think of lightsabers too.
I think of, well, coming from a different perspective, because, you know, like I said, Rising Sun, samurais, Jedi are like samurai.
Anyway, that makes no sense. That makes no sense for you to say that about the space battles, man.
It also may be that, you know, Star Wars doesn't have my my back anymore. Or I don't have their back.
are you going to bring up that? Yeah, Last Jedi wasn't exactly the most fun thing in the world to watch. And I know there's a lot of people that on both sides of that argument. Let's not go into that, but
No comments on that.
It sucked. Excuse me. Anyway, but yeah, that's my number 7. Star Wars Armada. Don't listen to him. It's an amazing game. And yes, when I think Star Wars, I'm thinking Wars in the Stars. Okay? That's why I think that. Yeah. What's your number 7, man? Let's move on. Gosh, you always have to bring some controversial crap up on every top 10.
We'll put this on another video.
Phil.
So mine also involves
your pick sucks no matter what it is.
Huh?
Your pick sucks no matter what it is.
So mine involves space battles. Probably won't guess this. Anyway, so my number 7 is Star Realms.
Okay. Your pick sucks less.
Anyway, Star Realms is a deck builder. You're gonna build your hand. You're gonna go attack your other player. Draw cards from a drafting system. Ever since you introduced me to this, I play it almost every other month on my phone. You know, when we get the opportunity here, we bring it out every so often. It's one of those games that's just so much fun to play. No matter if you're playing against the computer, if you're playing against somebody across the country on your phone, or if you're sitting right here playing with your best bud. It's a game to play. So, or co-host.
Heart.
So, Star Realms,
I take it
my
back,
number 7.
After what you said about that, I almost didn't do that. My heart broke. You went. Anyway. So anyway, this game is all about you being a merchant in France, and you're actually running a harbor, and you've got goods coming in left and right. Yeah, okay, now you might know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You got goods coming in left and right, and you're basically just building up a business and trying not to be too far into debt while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Le Havre, my number 6.
I play on my phone quite a bit.
Okay, I didn't know you'd gotten into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played it quite a bit when I first got it. I probably hadn't picked it up in a while.
Okay. Yeah. I'm these days I'm playing it more on my iPad than I am on the tabletop. I'd love to actually get this game. Right. There's so many games I've played and I fell in love with that I don't actually own. I've played it with other people, but this game, it's basically what I'm saying. It's just a straight Euro game, but it makes sense. Now, this is one of those Uwe Rosenberg's feed your people style games, but this one's actually manageable. Okay, you can actually set it up to where you can send your workers, in a sense, out to the different places in the harbor, and there's so many good choices. You want to get 10 bread? Well, you've got that choice. If somebody else takes something that you want, there's almost always good choices out there for you to take. You could take cows, and by the way, later on you can use those for meat, and you can actually feed your people quicker, or in a more of an abundant way. You can build ships to actually send off your goods, right? You can build like wooden ships, iron ships, and at the same time you also can build different kinds of businesses that nobody else is typically building. And the kicker is that, for example, Bryan builds something where he's creating like a lot of energy that I need. Like he takes coal and turns it in, takes it and you take it to a place called the cokery and make it more refined. Well, he may have that, and I need to pay him so I can actually use that stuff coming from the cokery to actually build my steel beams, to build my steel ships and things like that. So you all have to kind of work together in that sense in terms of business, right? You have to deal with each other in business. And there's so many different little buildings that come out that you're all kind of gunning for to build, with different resources that you get from the harbor and all that. The game's amazing. I think it hits all the right notes because I am somebody who likes to build my own business, so to speak, within game. I think that's why I like viticulture and things like that. It hits all those right points.
So I'm just shocked this even came up because you never talk about it.
I don't talk about it because I don't own it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some games I talk about that I don't own, but I don't know. I've played this so much now on the iPad. It's like I just love it. It gets rid of all that bookkeeping. The iPad or just the tablets in general and the mobile systems are wonderful ways to learn strategies in game, especially if you want to go play against flesh and blood players.
Mine is all about my number 6.
Let me take a drink so I don't spit it out from surprise. Huh? Go ahead.
Is all about park building. To increase your dangers. Does
it include Tyrannosaurus Rexes and Utah Raptors?
Yes, and Utah Raptors. Dinosaur Island.
If you want to know what the Utah Raptor thing's all about, go watch our Dinosaur Island review. We got into a little argument about it. So dumb. But they did their research. I'll give them credit for that.
They did it right. Better than Jurassic Park. But this game right here, it just kind of hits home, taking you back to when Jurassic Park first came out. I don't care if
John Hammond hates you.
I really hate that man.
It takes you back to Jurassic Park. I mean, it doesn't have the licensing of Jurassic Park, which is one thing I like about it, because I think if it did, I think it would hit a sour note for me. Just most licensed games, you build up an expectation for it that when you play it, you're like, oh, this is okay. It's not really my cup of tea. But this one right here just, I mean, there's so much in it. There's so many puns in there. Clever Grill.
Clever Grill.
It's so much fun to get in there.
The whirly ride.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
To get in there and, you know, research your dinosaurs, get your DNA, and the DNA dice are phenomenal. The amber color dice are awesome. I can't wait for the expansion to come out. And Dualosaur Island. I can't wait for those. Yeah, baby. We
got that on tap.
The more I think about this, the more I play it, the more it grows on me, the more and more I like and enjoy it. And I think once I get Dualosaur Island, I think being able to sit down and play a 2-player game with a kind of a short version is what it's supposed to be. I think it's just going to even grow on me more.
You know, I backed out of that, right?
I'm going to slap you. We'll be right back. But Dinosaur Island, that's my number 6.
My number 5. Now this game, this game takes a specific type of crowd to enjoy. I'll just be honest with you about that. If the people you're playing with cannot get into a sense of humor and kind of play acting in this game, it is possible. I've heard of this falling flat before. Now you can still play the game and enjoy it, but
Pictionary is not that hard of a game.
Oh my god! No, but this game it does require that kind of element. It's called Sheriff of Nottingham. The Sheriff of Nottingham, one person at the table. Now they've got an expansion out, I think, that gives you sheriffs and deputies and things like that to help out, and it increases the player size. But the part of this is the snap bags I love. You're basically a bunch of different people from Robin Hood's Merry Men, and you're all trying to sneak into Nottingham, and you got to get. It's like going through customs. You're trying to get past the sheriff. You're trying to sneak illegal goods like crossbows and, you know, illegal spices and things like that. And what you do is you're claiming what you've got at the stop, right? You're basically, the sheriff's like, all right, what are you claiming? Think of going through the airport and doing that, right? And so you can lie to them because they ain't got X-ray machines back then.
You have anything to declare?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it if it's a lie, man, but I guess you can lie in that game. So, but yeah, you can lie and you can be like, hey, I've got this in the bag. Now the sheriff has a choice. Sheriff can choose to believe you and let you through, and then you just, you know, snuck some stuff past, or the sheriff can check your bag. Now you can bribe the sheriff. How about 2 farthings? Will you not check my bag, please? That'd be wonderful.
Make it 2 gold.
But yeah, you can do that, and if the sheriff accepts the bribe, you can go through. But if the sheriff checks your bag and you were telling the truth, the sheriff has to pay you. But if you weren't telling the truth and the sheriff checks your bag, you got to pay out. The game's a heck of a lot of fun. It's riotous beyond all belief. Everybody at the table, if they'll get into it, they'll try to be like, oh, I'll pay, you know, like Brian's bag. Look, I'll pay you, sheriff, to check his bag instead of mine, you know, and you can do that kind of thing. It's pretty fun. It is one of the funniest things I've ever done in terms of gaming. There's a lot of games that make me laugh real hard, but this one just keeps me rolling usually. Because there's people at the table that just, if they get into it, it's amazing. It's amazing. Good play acting. Sheriff of Nottingham, you got to have the right group of people, but it is awesome to play. My number 5.
Good choice. My number 5 involves growing. Involves a lot of sunlight.
This high?
Photosynthesis.
Oh my gosh.
This game just really kind of took me by surprise.
It's taking me by surprise right now. How high up on your list it is.
Wow. It's is so different that
I feel deja vu.
very abstract on it. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just kind of grabbed me, and I was like, I really love the aspect of growing the trees.
Yeah.
And the way you plot them out to try to score and get your points. It really took me by surprise when I first played it. I mean, when I first saw it, the cover of it, I thought, was this about fairies? Yeah, it's just got this picture of this beautiful artwork of tree on it in the middle of a forest.
By the way.
Yes, thank you.
Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday or whatever you want to say.
Happy New Year. But the photosynthesis is just, it just hits on so many levels for me. I don't know what it's just the abstract of it, just the colors.
The economy is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that too. The economy is great on it. It's very unusual. And you don't see a lot of games like this.
I know.
There's some games out there maybe kind of close, but this is just completely different from anything that you probably played.
Yeah, I like the shade system too. Like how the shade stops.
You can't be in the. If you have a tree here, and your tree's over here, that one back there won't get any light because it's not far enough back to receive the rays from the sun.
And also the size. I love the different sizes in the game. So, my number 4. This one is all about alternate reality, different time period. This one is Time Stories. This game's cooperative.
I really want to say it's alternate reality.
Yeah, well, it even mentions kind of that in the rule. Because think about it, like the Prophecy of Dragons. We're not going to go into it, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can go into different time periods. It's like Quantum Leap or Travelers, I think we said. Travelers that you go into, and you're basically getting into these time casings, like these time pods, and you're actually getting your consciousness back. And it's very much like Sam Beckett in Quantum Leap. The only thing I'm missing is Al as a hologram, and him going and smoking a cigar and doing his thing. People walking through him all the time. The game is absolutely immersive to the core.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, we've only played a few
expansions.
A few of the expansions. Yeah, well, not even expansion. We played the first one. We played the Marcy case. I think the first one was great. It was very puzzle heavy, but the second one, the Marcy case, that's what solidified it for me on this list. And we still got to get into the next one. It's such a hard game to get to because you have to. You
got to play with the same group of people, really, for it.
You kind of do, yeah.
Because every story. This story connects to this story, connects to. It's like
there's definitely a thread running in there.
It's like Quantum Leap, literally, because you're going from one scenario to another scenario to another scenario, and you may pick up things in the game that may relate to something later on. Yeah, which we have an item we don't know what to do with yet.
Right. Yeah, and I love the fact that you can be all sorts of different characters. And in each one of them, the storyline is so rich. So deep. Yes. It's such a great immersive thing. And I loved all the red herrings. Like, I'm going to, some things that the game will lead you on and be like, yeah, check this out. Oh, crap. We had a dead end, but man, it looked like we were going on the right track. One of the best games I've ever played. Now, the only downside in a sense is once you've played it, you're done with that scenario because you know the story for the most part. You know most of where you need to go. And it is kind of what you would consider a consumable game. But as long as you've got the base game and you continue to get the expansions, the modules, the game's amazing. Amazing game. Go back and check we had a 3-man panel on it where we talked about it. There's a spoiler area, non-spoiler. So if you want to see what we think about it in that, go for it. But yeah, Time Story is my number 4.
Wasteland Express is my number 4. But this brings it even closer home to the whole Mad Max experience with me. I really love this aspect where you're shifting in. You got different speeds that you're going up to. Your momentum, really awesome. I really love that aspect of it. I love that you're going across the desert wasteland to deliver goods to this town and coming back and deliver it to that town. You can go upgrade your vehicle, expand your trailer options, put guns on there. It's just it just brings in a little tighter. Yeah. For me. Yeah. There's just so much more in there. I mean, there's having to complete missions and stuff. Yeah, the missions. The Vision Quest. Oh, that was kind of weird. it was. But it was cool. It was cool. some of the boss battles you can go into and do the mechanics of how the dice work on that there.
Yeah.
Once you get done with your momentum, you can use those to go up to perform actions for
like
outposts.
a 2-for-1.
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
for 1.
it's so cool, man. That was a great game.
There's a couple of cards in there that we really didn't care much for. Some of the little too obscene for us.
Nah.
But
It fits the theme, but I don't like it.
Overall, it just brought the whole Mad Max tighter in.
Yeah,
Really
awesome.
love. Wasteland Express, my number 4.
My number 3 is a game. It's also kind of an alternate reality. Takes place after World War One. One of the most hyped games I think ever made, and it's by one of the same companies that's already been on my list once. This top 10 list, Stonemaier Games, Scythe. Now, if you haven't heard of this game, you're probably a little newer to gaming because this has been everywhere.
I still want to do the expansion on that one.
Oh yeah, the airships.
Yes.
Oh, I've got it sitting on. We're ready to do it. But Scythe, it's all about, when you first go into this, you think, okay, it's got giant mechs, it's got battlefield looking areas, and I mean not really, but I mean it's fields and things like that. You're thinking, okay, we're going into a field battle and we're going to fight it out like giant robots.
Think of BattleTech.
Yeah, it had that. It almost had that feel, but it's not. I mean, it's nowhere near.
No.
But because you have mechs, that's the thing. These are old rust buckets, some of them. The fact is, really, you're going into this game more like, I thought it was going to be a war game, but really, it's more of a Cold War game. The mechs are there more as deterrents.
It's more just resource management on it.
It's a resource management game. You're sending workers out to collect, I think, iron and food and things like that. And get more people and things. And one of the best part for me is how you're upgrading your tableau, because the way that the upgrades work, the upgrade system is so interesting. Because you can go high or low. There's 2 spots on 4 different quadrants on your area here, and you can actually upgrade not just one time. Usually, sometimes you can upgrade over time, getting discounts on things to build your mechs and getting more powerful, getting more abilities for reputation. The game is awesome. I will say that the end game has a kind of a abrupt timing trigger, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but the ending's a little abrupt. But other than that, the overall gameplay, you are immersed from minute 1. Has an immersive story. The artwork is some of the best I've ever seen in any game ever. And the fact that they actually started with the artwork before they designed the game is amazing to me. That at least that's what I've heard.
The artwork really didn't hit home for me that much.
Oh, dude. Well, in immersion
on the box,
the cards though,
yeah,
the immersiveness of the cards and everything. Amazing game. Check it out if you haven't already. Scythe, my number 3.
So my number 3 is game all about mobsters. This game right here is all about putting contracts on people.
You're freaking kidding me.
No, dude.
You are kidding me.
I fell in love with this game. Family business.
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that it's that high.
Dude,
I didn't even think that was going to be on your list.
Dude, Family Business is freaking phenomenal. I love this game. All about putting contracts on people. You have a hand that you play from. You draw, you put somebody on the hit list, they go up into the center, and then once you get so many people, you start knocking them off.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre,
yes.
baby.
And it's just so, I don't know, it kind of gets me immersed in it. I don't know about you on there, but it really gets me kind of immersed into the whole mobster feeling, especially when I play with his wife and she's putting a contract on me. And
she's Italian.
Yeah. But I just love, going head to head with people. I love that take that aspect of this.
Yeah.
Take that. I just killed all your guys.
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is you're a really mean person.
Yes, I am.
You're violent.
It's Irish mobster.
You have violent tendencies.
Yeah, it's Irish mobster.
I've known you how long now? 20 years, and wow. Continue. I'm sorry.
But this game right here is just hard to get a hold of. It's available on Amazon. My wife actually got it for me one Christmas, and I knew about it 4 or 5 days before it came, just because I get all the notifications on my phone.
My wife gets this. Are you ordering another game? Shh, I'm sorry. I thought I had that archived.
So, but Family Business is my number 3.
my number 2 game. This game is all about trying to survive a brutal, harsh winter.
Dead of Winter.
In a colony, yeah, with zombies all around you. Dead of Winter is my number 2. This game, for the longest time, when I first got it, the first time I played it, well, it's a learning game. I guess the second time I played it, I was done. This was my number 1 game. I was like,
but that's 2.
Shut up, man. don't. You're pretty sure you know what number 1 is. Maybe it's different this year. It's not like I talk it up enough or anything. Right, Darth Vader? Yeah. But anyway, so, yeah, Dead of Winter, when I first played it, it became my number 1 game of all time. It is one of the most immersive games in terms of that crossroad card system where there's just a narrative story in every game. Like if you know, they're like the drunk Santa that's in there. You have moral decisions you have to make.
Yes.
There's one dude in there named Mike Cho. Like you're in the middle of almost getting killed by zombies, and all of a sudden a ninja shows up in the narrative card, and he becomes a character in the game that you can use, and he comes in and saves you. And I love that. It's just those kind of situations that come up that makes this game one of the greatest games of all time. And I think it's still pretty high on Board Game Geek. I hadn't checked it in a while for that one in particular. I don't remember where it stands, but
it's still on the top.
Is it on the top 100?
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah,
so.
I forget where, but there's a reason why this game has had so many expansions. This game is just.
It just gets you so involved in it.
Yeah, there could be a traitor in the game, which, by the way, don't get cold feet if you're the traitor. I got that last week, and I could have wiped them out this second to last round. But I was like, I don't want to be a traitor this time. And until the last round, I was just leaving them alone. I was kind of helping them out. But, yeah, last round I decided I lost because I decided to finally be a jerk.
Seems like every time I play that game with you, you're always the traitor.
I know. And it's the luck of the draw. It's not something I mean to do. I'm really a nice guy. No, I don't like being the traitor. Well, I say that. I like being both. But I prefer to be a regular person, you know. And everybody's got their own secret agenda and all that. I just actually put up a retro review. I put up a review of it the other day or a couple weeks ago. Go check out my thoughts there. But it is an amazing game. It's immersive. I guess you call it a semi-co-op. But technically, everybody's kind of helping each other out, but at the same time, you can't trust anyone because it's so intense.
It's truly a zombie game because it's the zombie apocalypse has come, and everybody's fighting for their place. In line,
and you got to forage for what you need, like weapons and food and things like that.
It's literally like they brought The Walking Dead to a board game.
They really did. They really did.
The only thing they didn't do is put Walking Dead on it, which I think is fantastic because then it probably
that goes back to your Dinosaur Island pick. Yeah. I love it when they do an IP right, but I also love it when they knock off an IP in a way that it makes it so amazing. But anyway, that's my number 2. Dead of Winter had to be on the list.
So my number 2 involves chunking dice, picking which one
taking names. Go ahead.
And involves chocolate pudding.
You are head exploding right now. There should be that. What?
Lucidity.
You gotta be kidding!
I enjoyed this game so freaking much.
You got to be kidding! You pulled and you had to bring this joke back up.
Yes, I did.
Go watch our Lucidity review. The intro to it, you'll completely understand. Anyway.
Lucidity Six-Eyed Nightmare.
Oh my gosh! No freaking way!
It is so freaking. I
almost forgot this was going to be on your list. I knew you loved the game, but I didn't think it was number 2.
I mean, I love how you.
This displaced Dinosaur Island. This displaced Wasteland Express.
How much fun did you have playing this?
Fallen Land.
I don't know about him, but I had a lot of fun playing this game.
It was good. It was awesome, but
trying not to become a nightmare on some occasions and trying to become a nightmare on other occasions.
Shannon's gonna love you. Like the guy who designed the game, he's gonna love you for this.
And
I like the game a lot. It's just wow.
It was on Kickstarter. It's been funded.
Was it Renegade who picked it up? I think Renegade Games actually picked it up.
But it hasn't been shipped out yet. They're still waiting on copies to come out. They had a little problem with some of the dice, some of the new custom dice on there. They weren't in the trays for it.
Ooh.
So I'm still waiting so I can get a copy of this game. I didn't back it. I wish I had.
Okay, no fever. No fever. I'm just making sure you're okay over here.
You're reaching into the bag, blinded, pulling out the number of dice that you need. You're rolling them and seeing what you get, and you got to place them on your board, your player board. And trying not to become a nightmare, or possibly trying to become a nightmare to go after your opponents.
That was your favorite thing to do.
Oh, that's why I love
going
this.
after
Yes, that's why I love this game.
No wonder family business is so high. You just love going after people.
Yes, I do. But Six-Sided Nightmare, check it out. Check out our review on this game, and once it's actually out there on the shelves, I'm still waiting so I can get a copy of this game. It is so freaking phenomenal. I really enjoy playing this. The downside to me was some of the Nightmare cards were a little too grotesque for me on some of it, but they did have some cards, family-friendly games, which I thought actually fit it a little bit better because it gave you more of the eerie, creepy sense rather than just right out there trying to scare you immediately. It's kind of eerie. Place. Yes, kind of like that. I mean, I really enjoyed this game, and it's freaking.
I'm not surprised because I'm not saying all that because the game's a bad game. The game's actually really good, I thought, but I'm just surprised that it made it that high up.
It just kept moving its way up.
Okay, all right, no, that's cool. That's your list, man. Rock and roll. Get what
love
you
the game.
Yeah. For my number one, the most boring number one of all time, and what I mean is not because it's the game, but because it's the choice. Okay, play.
Dude, really? Can we flip them over together?
Oh, I gotta do that. I'd bring up that old chestnut again.
No, seriously, can I flip mine over too?
What? Okay, anyway. Okay. So, no, my number one, let's all say it together. Just do it.
Rising Sun!
Blood Rage! No. Not anytime soon. No, the game that I love and he hates, or at least
hate it.
You dislike it greatly.
It's not like one of my go-to games.
Didn't play it again with me. Play it again with me.
I'll play it again with you. I never said I wouldn't.
Okay. Just as much as you've disdained it on videos
whatever
before.
Game you want out, I'll play it with you.
Okay. Well, the game is awesome. If you've never heard of Blood Rage, you've been hiding under a rock, or you just are new to games and don't know much about it. But the game is amazing. I love the card draw, the drafting system. I mean, granted, like you like Terraforming Mars, you like that draft variant.
Yes.
I love the drafting in this. Timothy Gay is correct. He's absolutely he's in love with this game. It is still his number one. I agree with him on that drafting system. I love the idea of being able to try to keep cards out of his hand that he's using to build a strategy, because I know if I've played enough with him, he may have a strategy he loves, and I may be able to stop that. Of course, he may be able to do the same thing to me. And I love the miniatures in the game. I love having the Viking clans going out there and fighting during Ragnarok. I love the game because of all these different things. The board is not like the greatest thing to look at. I'm going to be honest with you. In that respect, I will say Rising Sun topples it in terms of what it does, like just the beauty of it. But
almost center.
That is not why it's almost center. I took Wasteland Express down, from that spot. That one game you love, I don't want to hear it. So anyway. But yeah, Blood Rage, it's just fun in so many ways. There's only been one person that I know of that has walked away from this game not loving it, and it's this guy. I don't, maybe there was somebody else, but I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's specifically him. And I thought you would love this game.
It just, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the mood I was in that day. Maybe it was just,
I thought you played it at least a couple
maybe it was
times.
just the board was just too dark or something.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I give you that.
I mean, if you look at most of the games I picked, I mean, the artwork is freaking phenomenal and colorful.
Yeah.
And it's shocking considering I'm a Batman fan and I like the darkness.
Yeah. And I will say this, Jason Taylor, you are wrong. Okay, Blood Rage is still better than Rising Sun. So back up off me, man. Anyway,
don't know who we're talking about.
Yeah, well, he'll say something down in the comments. I'm waiting on you, brother. Dukes up. Anyway, Blood Rage is my number one. Hey, we'll see where it lands next year. Maybe it's still going to be number one. We just got to see what games come out. So, Awesome game. I'd talk about it all night, and I won't let you get to yours. So go ahead. What's your number one?
Oh, you probably can guess this one.
I'm not going to try.
Not even going to try?
No, because I honestly, at this point, my mind has been so destroyed over all the picks that you've had. Okay, let me guess. Burger Time.
Man, you got it. No, actually, my number one is tile placement, Carcassonne.
That's right.
I will literally sit down and play this for hours. I can,
on your phone, especially.
Phone, home. To give you an idea how much I fell in love with this game.
Give me Blood Rage on an app. I'll do the exact same thing.
Is that the first time he introduced this to me, he had the single Carcassonne with the Rivers expansion. A week or two later, I bought the big box with every expansion that you can imagine except for Rivers, and that just ticked me off. They didn't have Rivers in it, and that's the hardest.
Like, how many tiles? 10 tiles. Dude.
Yeah, and it's the hardest thing to get a hold of too. I've searched Amazon, and Amazon doesn't have it.
Well, I think Carcassonne sucks, so you can have my copy.
I'll take the other one too. So the spinner on that one?
I know. I haven't even taken it out of the shrink.
But Carcassonne, tile placement. I love this game. It's just every game is different. You have different sized castles. You have different strategies that you're going to play with it. And I mean, this is one of the games my brother-in-law always requests me to bring over to his house. If we have a game night over there, it's like, dude, bring Carcassonne. Dude, bring Carcassonne. Dude, it's like, dude, just go buy a copy. Go buy Carcassonne. You love it that much. Just go buy a copy.
It's not that expensive.
It's
and they
really
have
not.
So many variants.
So many variants. Yeah. I haven't got to the other variants.
There's
like
Star Wars. There's Amazonas. There's
that's another one that I wanted to get into. The Amazon.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Star Trek. Was it Star Wars? Star Trek?
No, there's a Star Wars. I don't know if there's a Star Trek. There's definitely Star Wars.
I'm just, you know how I am about those licensed games like that. I don't know if I'd like that one or not, but I've heard it's pretty good. I hadn't played that one yet, but I wouldn't mind getting into it. Carcassonne is just freaking phenomenal. It's an easy entry game. Anybody will love it.
There's a reason why it has endured.
Yes. I mean, it came out in
so
2000, I believe. And
around that time, yeah.
And I mean, if I found out about it back then, if I was in gaming then and not in my computer games and Xbox, I would have been all over this game. Freaking phenomenal. Carcassonne. My number one.
All right. Well, I was joking about it. I thought it sucked. We have this main list. What was on your short list? Just a few, even. I got a deck of cards here, baby.
Yeah, I didn't even bring mine.
I'll give you a couple just to start. Zombicide, Smash Up, Imperial Settlers, Imperial Assault, Spectre Ops, X-Wing Miniatures. That's another thing. Armada. I love X-Wing Miniatures, but Armada has kind of done that, not done it away, but it's a game I prefer now.
I still say what I would love to sit down and do one whole Saturday day is start off with Star Wars Imperial Assault, start from that, then go up to X-Wing, and then go into
the Armada.
Just carry it on like it's a continuing game.
Yeah, it's like it's peeling back.
Yeah, it almost be like an RPG. Just so many layers.
You know how long that would take,
and you know what? That would be on my top 10.
And instead of that, let's play Fallen Land that long.
I'll do that.
But anyway, I think that's going to be it for us. We appreciate y'all so much for going on this long ride, these last 3 videos.
Many battles we had here.
Yeah, oh gosh, really. I'm amazed you don't have any marks on you, boy. You heal fast. But
I touch Batman.
You're Irish Batman.
I'm wearing Superman, so I guess.
Yeah, that's right. You represent. Yeah, we love it, and we've enjoyed this ride. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And by the way, what are some of the games that make up your top 10? I'm kind of curious. Any of our games hit your list at all? I have to imagine at least a couple probably did. Let us know down in the comments. I would love to know what some top 10 lists are from y'all.
How wrong is Kas on Blood Rage?
And how wrong is he for not loving it? But instead loving Rising Sun. Go ahead, Jason. Speak up. We know you're there. I love you, brother, and I'm so excited to get you on our channel sometime. But anyway, yeah, let us know down in the comments. Thank you so much, and you have a blessed day.
Game away.
Game away, baby.